Some students begin learning the grammar of a foreign language in school, and after 5 years, they have not learned to converse with another person in that language. Learning the practical side of a language will improve your first language, bring you better jobs prospects, improve brain health, and you will experience a new culture. Teaching the conversational side of a language from an early age would produce more students who could frequently speak that foreign language. And this can be done by taking extra lessons in community workshops, youth camps such as Camp Latino Ole, which provides an interactive cultural experience where children are given a holistic exposure to Latin culture. The English-speaking islands of Trinidad and Tobago is situated 6.8 miles from the northeastern coastline of Venezuela in South America, where the majority of the population of these states within that continent speak Spanish. Yet, there are many Trinidadians who cannot speak Spanish. By learning to speak Spanish, the two nations could develop improved means of communication. Although in most of the islands of the West Indies, the official language is English, there is a language unique to these islands called French Creole or Patois, which is a mixture of French, Spanish, and South African, and spoken by about 95% of the population of these islands. And it's fun to listen to the songs and music of this culture. Very interesting. Mark Fraser of Digital Media Department of the Trinidad Express newspaper reported on Nikisha Marshall, the Executive Director of Foreign Language Development Association, making it her goal to become the leading provider of one of the most important skills in developing learning language, which is called oral communication. He reported that she successfully passed through Trinidad's secondary school Spanish French learning system, that the focus was more on theory and language learning and not practical. She felt that it was time for something to be done. She said that hosting camps with native and partial native speakers are the fastest way to get children actively engaging with the Castilian language, because they pick up the language from the speakers as they present the language within specific contexts during the camp. This model, she continued, is the same as if one of us was learning English from our parents after birth. It is through the same contextual references that we first learn language communication. Grammar is the structure and system of a language, and it can help the student to learn a language more quickly and more efficiently. But receptive and expressive language skills are crucial, not only because they are central to all school learning, but because they establish the basis for lifelong communicative competence. The ability to put language to practical use, to expand knowledge, apply what is known, and establish creative alternatives and resolutions to problems have implications for cultural production and reproduction, taken from rote language learning and the practical use of language in schools. There are those who say that language or learning a foreign language has some disadvantages, such as the cost of the language courses and the time it requires. However, my schoolmate, Carl Simmons, went to the University of the West Indies and came out an economist in agriculture. He immigrated to the United States and worked on Wall Street, earning a lucrative income. And yet, he still took night classes to learn French. He said that the reason was to keep his academic qualification up to date. Carl said he knew that a firm where he works could hire someone with foreign language skills, which are an asset for his job. The financial returns far outweigh the cost of learning another language. A competent foreign language teacher is an asset to producing students who can fluently manage themselves when conversing with others of another culture. These students would stand out when applying for a job, when they are studying or working abroad, and our nation could have a large pool of bilinguals or multilinguals, of which we can be proud.